Wow. Yeah, mad story that was. I'd only been to Islington Boys, and that was when I was 16, because when I went to a foster home, they sent me to a foster home at one point that I stayed for a while. The guy so happened to be a trainer at that gym and said to me, "What you doing? Why don't you come down the gym?" But I was just a knucklehead 16-year-olds like most 16-year-olds are. And I remember one time when I was going around, I had attendance and I weren't even smart enough to throw the attendance away and try and chew on a mint, try and mask my breath or something. I went in the gym with the tenants, rightfully so. I got cussed out the building by the trainers out there who are, a lot of them still run Islington Boys Club to date and will remember me. I never went back. When you're young, you're like, dickhead, man. But really it's you. You're the dickhead, but you just cannot see for the life of it that you're the dickhead. It's always someone else. From 16 to 21, gyms never saw me again. That was straight criminal activity, babies, family life, addictions, just making money off the roads. That's all it was for the next 6 years. It was last call. It's like I had a conversation with myself and looked into my own future. Always tell young people, do this. You don't need a counsellor. You are your very own counsellor, man. Sit down, have a conversation with yourself, ask yourself questions, and then answer your own questions. What do you want? How do you see yourself in 5 years' time? And if you see yourself like that, what's the route forward? How are you really gonna get there? Yeah, okay, I said I'm gonna be a champion one day, but how was I gonna do that? I'd have to go into a ring, go into a gym. I would have to learn how to fight properly, not street fight. What other opportunities did I have? I didn't see myself with much opportunities. I didn't see myself going uni and getting all these exam results. I wanted to use what I had, and I could fight. Boxing's always been a way out, a sport that gives the underprivileged and the ones that are grafting hard and don't have it an opportunity to get out of this environment. When we first started at this gym, really strong smell of sweat. It was grimy, rough, raw, weren't no pretty gym, none of that. It was like, rah. It was a buzzing hive of just young men hungry to prove themselves, had loads of issues and problems themselves, but wanted a way out. When you come into a gym that was buzzing with so many young men, everyone wants to be the one to make it. Everyone wants to prove themselves. So our gym was like that. And sometimes because a lot of young men hadn't developed that discipline yet and that behavior yet, you would get some fights in here at times. I remember one time, sometimes you get olders. We're talking about young people, but older sometimes don't behave right. Because we had a grown man here, he was late 20s, early 30s. He was a professional boxer, well seasoned in his career. And I was doing my rounds on the bag. He didn't know how to be respectful and show me that, I wanted to be next on the bag and wait. See, this is deep because we're in a position as elders to really, the way we talk to young people, the way we show young people how to behave is how we behave. He didn't do that. He wanted to show me that he was a big man and I needed to do as I was told. But I was brought up different. I weren't having a bar of it. So I was not gonna move off the bag just because you were telling me to come off the bag. So I let you know I got a round left. He weren't having it. He stepped to me, I'm gonna back it. In his eyes, he was just too experienced and too good to be beaten by a young man. But I was a tenacious young man. And I felt that I was in the right because you were doing wrong. So I was gonna be victorious, and I was. I bust him up, I split his eye to the point where I've still got a bite mark in my belly. A grown-ass man bit me in the belly to escape the deadly grip, the anaconda-like grip that I had him in, the headlock, UFC type chokehold that was making him lose his life, yeah? So I let this guy go, but he dropped, he was bruck up. I had to go and get an injection because you never know what these dirty bungles are doing with their mouth. The moral of the story is, you had to even defend it when you come to the gym because not everyone was respectful, and elders needed to really step up to show us and be an example of how we should behave as young people. So big up to all the elders out there that are living by example and not talking about young people, what they should do, but living it themselves so young people can see how they should be flexing.